Most homes don't have one big problem. They have a lot of small ones, all working together. A room that's always colder than the rest of the house. Condensation that shows up on the same window every winter. A draft you can feel, but can't quite explain. Sometimes even mold seems to show up out of nowhere. These don't happen randomly. They're patterns. And those patterns come from how heat, air, and moisture move through your house. Once you understand that, your house starts to make a lot more sense. Most homes aren't missing one thing. They're missing control. Control over where heat goes, where air moves, where moisture ends up. When those three aren't working together, you start to see the symptoms. Cold rooms, drafts, condensation, mold showing up in the same spots, rooms that never quite feel right. And those symptoms tend to repeat in the same places under the same conditions. Not because the house is failing randomly, but because the system is behaving exactly how it's been built. Most people are taught to think of houses as parts. A roof, a window, an insulation upgrade. But houses don't operate as parts. They operate as systems. When you change one thing, you change how everything interacts. Air movement changes, moisture pathways shift, heat loss redistributes. That's why fixing one issue can sometimes create another one somewhere else. Not because the fix was wrong, but because the system wasn't considered. The goal isn't to chase every symptom. It's to understand the pattern behind them. To see how heat, air, and moisture are moving, and where that movement is being controlled, or not. Because once you understand that, decisions get a lot simpler. Not easier, but clearer. You start to know what matters first, what can wait, and what actually solves the problem long term. The principles behind Passive House are really about control. Controlling how heat moves, how air moves, how moisture moves. And the reason they matter is because they scale. They work at a small level, like improving one room, or solving a specific problem. And they work at a whole house level, in renovations or new construction. The key is understanding how to apply those principles to the house you already have, or the one you're building. Not all at once, not all to the same level, but in the right order. And the reason this matters is because these patterns affect more than just the house. They show up as comfort first. Rooms that never quite feel right. Floors that stay cold. Spaces you use differently depending on the season. Sometimes even a heating bill that keeps going up. They also show up in the indoor environment. How clean the air feels. How consistent conditions are from room to room. And how much the house shields you from what's happening outside. Not as one big issue, but as a collection of small conditions that add up over time. Over time, it also shows up in how the building holds up. Materials lasting as long as they should, or not. None of this is dramatic. It's usually gradual, but it's consistent. And when you start to bring control to how heat, air, and moisture move, these conditions start to shift. The house becomes more stable, more predictable, and easier to live in. It also shows up in how much energy the house needs just to stay comfortable. Some homes are constantly working to maintain balance, and others have more predictable utility bills. Because most problems don't start where they show up, and most fixes don't work if they're solving the wrong part of the system. Understanding comes first. Then the right decisions follow. And often that means avoiding doing the same work twice. Not everything needs to be done, and not everything needs to be done at once. The order matters. Building science explains it. Applied correctly, it fixes it. Passive house for the people.